Hello guys and welcome to Sunday Sit Down with Sonia. If this is your first time here, my name is Sonia and on Sundays on my YouTube channel I do a sit down with different people to talk about different topics, different issues. Today we're talking about fathers and I just want you to hear from fathers, right? I'm not a dad, I'm a single mom. And lots of people want to say I do the role of both a mom and a dad. I'm just playing the role of a parent. It's the same role. I just happen to be the only one who's around to play that role for my son. So I just want to appreciate fathers who are doing the job, who are doing the work to be good fathers and be present in their children's lives. And I just wanted to hear from two fathers that I know who are very present in their children's lives, who are very involved in their children's lives, and hopefully can motivate some deadbeat fathers to be better fathers to their kids. So if this is your first time here, thank you for dropping by. I hope you enjoy this Sunday sit down, and I hope you tune in for more every Sunday and you watch the past ones. If you're a returning subscriber, a viewer, thank you for coming back. Thank you for showing support. I appreciate you so much. So let's just get right into the discussion. Unfortunately, you won't be seeing my face in this discussion because I had some technical difficulties and my face is not showing. It's a long story, but it's not about me, it's about the dads, right? So it will be focused on them. You will hear my voice, but you will be focused on their faces, and you will see the faces of some of the freshest dads we have. Thank you for tuning in. Bye.
Olubi, Sibele.
Our father.
uh,
Our father.
my guy living large.
Our father.
as you are cooking father now, that's why we're here.
Hi guys, my name is Sonia, as you know, or Chika, or the Chika the softness. We should introduce yourselves, please.
My name is Deji.
And they are daddies of the GTA.
Freshest daddies, to be precise.
You say what daddies?
The freshest daddies.
Freshest daddies ever living.
Yes.
So I met both of them on a WhatsApp group called GTA Connect. And I don't know, but I know them somewhat, but I don't know them very well. We agree and disagree on lots of things on that group. But I believe that they're really good fathers. And Father's Day just passed. So I wanted to do like a segment on fathers, what it's like being a father, as I have no clue. On Father's Day, people were telling me Happy Father's Day. While I appreciate the thought behind it, it's like, I cannot be a father, I'm not a man. So, as in, I understand the sentiment behind them telling me Happy Father's Day as a single mom. But they're like, I'm playing the role of a father. I'm like, I feel like the role of a father and a mother are the same thing, just that one is a man, one is a woman. Or ideally, they should be the same thing. What's it like being a father? Who wants to go first?
That's a very good question, though.
It's a very deep question. What's it like being a father?
Broad.
Like, what's it like? Is it challenging or what? Okay, let's start with what are the joys of being a father? Let's start with that.
Okay, well, I think being a father, one of the expectations you would have for yourself or anyone will have for you is to always be there for the family, be there physically, emotionally, most especially physically.
Yeah.
I'll use myself as an example. For a couple of months now, I've been so busy. Like I hardly have time for anything. And I'm very guilty of not having spent time with my family lately as much as I should, but while they understand that daddy has to be out there, daddy has to work, I still feel that void and that them being not content, knowing daddy could be here, the kids come, do you want to play Monopoly? Do you want to play PlayStation with me? A lot of the times, even while I'm home, probably I'm just tired and I just want to rest. You know, I mean, it's a challenge and it's a lesson for me at the same time, and it's something I'm trying to work on. I just believe being there for the family physically, it's not really about you going out there bringing money in. You know, I appreciate that. Yeah, they appreciate that. I mean, you take care of the house. There's things that they want, that they need. Things they don't need, just things they want, they can get it. You know, but that you just being there for them, you know, I think they appreciate that more. And I can tell from my experience, you know, there's a whole lot more to just going out there and making sure they get what they need, or you're taking care of the house financially, you know. But you being there physically and emotionally, you know, that means a lot to them. That means a lot to them.
The context of being a father is you being able to take care of the ones that God has entrusted to you as your family. That's your wife and your kids, right?
But you're not your wife's father. But continue.
No. I said you being able to take care of the people God has entrusted to you. That's your wife and your children. So, however, being a father is a lot more than that, because you also have to think about you. As much as you unconsciously think about everybody else, you have to think about you. I remember my first hour as a father. I just come out from fainting from the labor. I was one that fainted, not my wife. I actually fainted, and the nurses were trying to revive me. I was like, what's going on here? And then the baby came, and they carried him and put him in my hands, and the feeling was really, it's a crazy feeling. I was like, wow, okay, I'm carrying him. And then this was like 3 a.m. in the night. And then after that, they took the baby from me. I couldn't stop smiling. There was nothing that anybody could do to me at that time. I couldn't stop smiling.
I drove back. Through your mind?
I don't know. I was just, okay, this is happening. Okay, I'm a dad. Okay, that baby is mine. You get it? So it's not a pet, it's a baby, it's a human being. So I drove from Surulere to Ikoyi. I got to work, I said I'm not a daddy, everybody blah blah blah. And then the baby came home, and all of that changed. Since we're talking about fatherhood, I'll just try to say one thing before I go to how I feel to be a father. So my baby was 3 weeks. 3 weeks, and then we moved from Ikoyi to Lekki to Oniru. My wife had gone for choir practice, and I was taking my baby. I was coming from work on a Saturday, and my wife used to call me Voltron, defender of the universe, because whenever I came back home, I would check the baby from head to toe and say, "What happened to him here? What happened to him here?" So I went to church. I picked up my baby from the choir practice. I went home, and I put it on the back. I got home. I went into the house without him, and I went to watch football. This is funny, right? Like 5-10 minutes into the game, because I was rushing home for the game. I said, "Where's my son?" I ran out. So luckily, my parking was a shaded area, and the car was freezing cold all my journey. So it was very okay. I just picked him up. He was just sleeping. I woke him up to be sure he was sleeping, and then he went back to sleep. That was the day I became an unconscious father. So from that, the feeling of fatherhood is unconsciously thinking, okay, what is this guy going to eat? What are they going to do? What are we going to do? How are they going to be happy? How is my wife going to be happy? How is she coping? How is she doing? So, and then when you think about that, that is the father of your immediate family. So you have to think about that for other people also and their kids. You do that as a father, you do that unconsciously. So I'll say the feeling of fatherhood is the feeling of a feeling that makes you unconsciously conscious of what people that God has entrusted you with are supposed to feel. So
yeah, and I agree with you there, Bodun, because it's beyond just your immediate family. I mean, like having that fatherhood figure is something you portray to people outside of your family. You know, and a lot of times it's just unconscious, and it's because of that, the fact that
becomes second nature.
Father, yeah, it's just your kind of like your duty to be responsible or to take care of people that are within your reach. You know, that have the opportunity.
You're nurturing towards everyone around you.
Yeah, so it's beyond just your immediate family. You know, and being a good father, you automatically just show that to other people.
How was your own relationship with your own father? Like your relationship with your father? Like, do you feel he was like an ideal father? Or did you learn from some of his mistakes to become a better father yourself?
Well, I'll just try and summarize it because it's a very long story. Now, the thing about my dad is, all right, there were a couple of things that he made me do that at that time I hated. Well, I won't say I hated him for that, but I was just unhappy. Like, you know, when you grudgingly do something just because you're forced to. But what you realize is this particular thing is what is getting me going. I keep telling him that, like, look, if you didn't force me to do these things, because then, okay, well, initially, my dad was a banker, right? He was one of the top guys in the then Savannah Bank at the time, you know, and he retired very early, you know, was doing very well with himself, retired very early, set up his own business, had a business center. And at the age, I think I was one of the youngest guys to own a computer, you know, at that time. At the age of about 10, I already had a computer in the house, already using CorelDRAW, doing designs, graphic designs and stuff like that. You know, he used to force me to the office. Most of my friends, they go to a Korea club after school, they go to country club, Lagos Country Club, while I'm forced to go to the office with him. You know, it was very frustrating because I just wanted to be out there with my friends, you know, working, but I'm busy in my dad's office with grown-ups doing stuff grown-ups do, you know, but you know, that was what got me through life, you know, because my basically my career has been in design. My first job ever was in advertising, you know. So, but earlier than that, he was the kind of guy that was hardly around. You know, the kind of dad that he believed, okay, I mean, I'm taking care of you guys. I don't have to be there. After school, they pick you up, they drop everybody, go swim, meet up with your friends, go to a Korea club, go to Zoe's, go play games, and have enough money to buy whatever you want there. So it was that kind of guy. He comes home late, you know, stops by after work to meet up with his friends. You know, it was just like a routine. You know, so I hardly saw him. You know, I hardly saw him, but I always kind of waited up for him because then that too I was kind of forced to, because my dad will always come home no matter how much he drank out there. He will always come home to drink another like 2 bottles of Star, which I needed to make sure was already in the fridge. You know, so even while at the early stages he wasn't really there, which also spilled into when he started his own thing and retired, you know, but there was a whole lot that I learned from him, you know, was even in all of that, I know for sure, like that the part of him always just being wanting to make sure everything is, you know, everyone's comfortable in the house, out there, hustling or working or doing whatever. That, I mean, I took that from him, you know. But even in all of that, very very few times he took out time to spend some time with the family. It was tough, you know, but I didn't. I wish it could have been a whole lot more, you know, but he still made out that time, you know, one way or the other. But what I want to try and do is to be a whole lot better than him, to have my kids and my family, immediate or non-immediate, you know, feel me more. Yeah, not just about, oh, okay, I need something that will always provide it for me. Like, feel me more as a person, as a father, to be able to speak to them. You know, I mean, like, I want to be able to speak with her, know how she feels, know, like, make her comfortable when she gets her first boyfriend, for example, I should be the person she talks to about it. Just make them really comfortable with me. And the only way that can happen is if you actually do spend time with them.
Yeah,
and then they become comfortable with you and believe they can tell you anything. Know, and then just nurture them the way God expects you to, and however way you believe they should be brought up.
Yeah. And maybe the way you would have also preferred, is how you also do it for them. And you got
and while I'm very open to kids making decisions on their own, like I'm not going to force them to be who I want them to be.
Yeah, exactly. You're not trying to live your lives through them.
Exactly. While I have the opportunity to guide them,
yeah,
my best.
You do your best. That's what you can do, right?
Yeah, I try to explain what I feel is best for them until they can make their own decisions, and they start to do what they believe is best for them. And even at that point, I will only just still guide them.
Yeah, the relationship with my dad was pretty much very extremely cordial. My dad was a typical family man. He was a family man in terms of extended family and also nuclear family. So he was a pressman. His brother was a minister. So we had a whole lot of people in our house at different times, right? My dad made sure that 9 o'clock on Sundays, everybody was seated watching Newsline. So we watch Newsline, everybody had to be there. And then my dad would take time and turns. They pick somebody in the family whose day is going to be. That day, they're going to yab that person. There's immunity in the family. You yab and throw any joke whatsoever to that person. The casualty of that was my mom, and she usually took offense, but Popsy was always there to protect everybody since he gave the immunity. So my dad was very, very, my dad is a jovial man. My dad, when I was in secondary school, if I took anybody home, male or female, I'd probably leave the person there because my dad would take over the conversation. So that was kind of dad. I think my dad probably shaped the way I am personally for myself. Because my dad, you know what they say, someone doesn't take life seriously.
Yeah.
Okay, that's who my dad is. That's who I am. So, but we're very close. Before I came to Canada permanently, my dad came and gave me a verbal will. And he told me, okay, when I die, it's just the 5 of you. Anybody that comes and says that is my child is a liar. He didn't make any mistakes. And then talk about properties he had, blah, blah, blah. By the time when I got to Lagos in December just to go and visit, he was so ecstatic. I thought at the back of his mind, he thought, I'm not going to see because he's pretty old, 83. So like, will I see this guy? And when he saw me, I didn't tell him I was coming. I just busted into his room. And was, Kilo Shele.
I hope you didn't give him a heart attack.
He will crack a joke. That I didn't even last. They've already deported me. So that's how we are. You throw the jab at you, you throw it back. That's how it is. And my dad remembers the dates of all the birthdays of all his grandchildren. I don't remember anyone.
That's my dad too. So
even my kids, I have to wait and think, okay. What was I doing? And then I'll give the date. But I think I'm lucky to have had that I have. That's what I think.
Speaking of that, I personally did not really have I don't know, the kind of relationship I would have liked to have with my own father. I mean, I didn't grow up with him. I've always lived with my mom. And I knew of him at some point. I used to live in the UK for like 8 years. So during that time, I knew of him, but it didn't really register like I had a dad. I just knew that there was a dad somewhere, but it didn't register like, oh, I have a dad. You get like apparently we used to talk on the phone, but I don't really remember all those things. And he apparently visited, but I don't have any memory of that. I only remember him properly when we moved back to Nigeria, and when we moved back, made a lot of promises and did not really keep any of them. And but he was involved in my life in such a way that he would pay school fees sometimes. Sometimes I don't know. Maybe he was going through stuff. Maybe he had financial issues, so he was not always able to meet up. My aunt will help out. My aunts will help out with my mom, and so he was there off and on. Like pretty much when it was convenient for him. So and my mom did her best to not like demonize him in front of me, but I was observing everything. I was seeing what was going on. So even if she did not say anything, I knew what was going on. So I've always been like, I've always wanted that. I've always wondered what that relationship is like. I have a very close relationship with my mom. Me and my mom were tight. She's very cool. I can talk to her about anything. So I don't really feel like I'm lacking anything. But at the same time, I've just always wondered what that relationship is like. Because I see especially nowadays, when I see fathers with their kids, it's just so sweet to watch. And I'm just like, hey, yeah. And then my son currently is not even experiencing that because it's just me here. So it's even for him, I feel for more. But I'm like, as long as it doesn't continue for the rest of his life, as long as at some point he has a father figure, and even if it's not necessarily his dad, but there's like maybe uncles or my friends that come to be like a man, like at least he sees like, I don't know if there's certain things I'm supposed to teach. Men are supposed to teach men, boys, that I'm not going to be able to teach him. I don't believe there is anything really. I mean, I don't know. So you will say if there's anything that only you as a man can teach your son that you think I will not be able to teach my son. Is there anything? Let me start knowing. Is there anything you think that my son needs to learn directly from a man?
Well, I remember going to the beach, coming back at maybe like 11 o'clock. I was in my part 2 or something like that. And my dad said, I'm sorry for you. Those words. This thing you are chasing. After a while, it's 10 naira, 9 for 10 kobo. That's the sexy statement, right? There was a point in it that, Oga, calm down, focus on your work. When you do that, you become an attraction.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So that was the point in that statement. However, I went home thinking that, there's going to be serious shouting today. Mm-hmm. So my mom did the shouting. Mm-hmm. And my dad just came and just said, I'm sorry for you. This thing you are running about for is 9 kobo for 10. It was 9 and 10 sharp. He said, you hear what I'm saying? And all the things that happened that night, the only message that I got was do what you should do at the right time, right? And then you can become an attraction. You are not the one that goes to searching if you don't have that. I have a daughter, and I have absolutely no idea how to communicate on some things with her. So I'll just defer that to my wife. I don't know. Unfortunately, the only relationship I know I have that is I make her laugh all the time. And I try to force boyfriend in my head that who's your boyfriend? Who's your boyfriend? Maybe she wants to talk. But it never works because she just laughs and walks away. So maybe there will be things that as a guy I don't know if there are. You know, there is no one way to life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So your relationship with your son can be better than some people's relationship with their daughter, even if they're women. So I guess it's just about knowing the person that you're
dealing, like understanding him. Yeah,
yes.
Exactly who he is.
Exactly that, because I don't follow. I'm not. If you notice, I'm not really a rule kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't follow rules like that. That's why I can't get employed.
Yeah, Deji. Deji,
Well,
what do you think?
I totally believe. I agree with Bodun with everything that he said. You know, a lot of times, what you'd expect from a father to, I'll start with the son. They usually tend to relate to how you relate with women. Most of the time. You know, and to be honest, it's always based on several experiences that they've had. You know, the goods, the bads, you know, and then they teach you some certain things. Most of the time is how to escape the wrath of a woman. You know, they know how they've handled their wives, you know, just most of the time it's usually how to make them just calm down. Like, okay, look, if she's doing this, just tell her this, tell her what she wants to hear, that kind of thing. Because they've done it all.
Funny enough, I now feel like I'm probably in a better place to teach my son these things, especially about women.
Now, in a way, I can understand that you do it to an extent. But the truth about it is, I don't think you'll be 100%. And you know why? Because you'll be biased. Now,
towards the woman, not to his interest.
No. You'll be biased on the kind of things that you tell him. Because, for example, if a man, my dad is telling me, look, when a woman starts to do this, just tell her this is what she wants to hear. You get, even if you tell the woman this, her reactions will still remain the same because it's inbuilt. So if my mom, for example, is trying to tell me like, look, when a woman starts to do this to you, this is how you should handle it. She can't get it right because she knows how she wants to feel.
Even you can't, like, what I feel like is like even you can't get it right. Well, the way I've felt to teach my son is like I feel like he needs to learn a lot of things from his experience. But just the basics, the values is like when dealing with women, as well, like for me, I try to be honest with myself. So like even when I'm in a situation with someone, I always ask myself, are you overreacting? As in, do you really need to even talk like this, or does this even need to be a big deal? Maybe you should just leave it. Like I talk to myself, like I try to be very self-aware and self-conscious. So I try not to. I believe that I'm a chill person. I just say my own as if it's doing me. If at this point I just say it quickly, it doesn't have to be a fight. Like I'll just say it. If you take, however you take it is your own. I try to make myself blameless by putting it out there. I've done my part. Whatever you do, your own is like you're responsible for your own actions and your own reaction or whatever.
Well, yeah, that's why I said it was. You know,
so,
but I feel like
I don't want
to be honest and be candid, and that's it. And
I was just going to say that you should not line communication with your child based on the gender, right?
Yeah, just to be honest with people, like be honest with himself, be honest with people.
The closest gender discussion my dad had with me was that. That's when I came. But most of the time, my dad would say, I'm sure you know if I wanted to be richer than I am, I will be. But I'm an honest man, so I will not. So I will not. So those are the things my dad said so many times. And then my dad, so I was kind of a sports child, as in me. That's what I think, compared to others, because I got broke in school. I go home, and I don't leave home until I get the amount I'm asking for, and they let it slide. So my brother got broke in school. He comes home. My dad said, I have just money to give you transport to go back. My brother collects the money and goes back to school. That couldn't happen to me. And I did that consistently, and they let it happen. So, but that's in the context of how I related with them. The way my parents, my dad related to me was different for every child.
Yeah, because every child is different. They're different personalities, so you have to have an understanding of your child. You can't use the same method throughout. I mean, there are some little things you can maybe try to use that same method, but you have to have an understanding of each child and use that to raise your child, like based on your understanding of your child, like knowing.
Yeah, but I think it's actually the other way around. It's how the child or the kids understand the father. For Bodun, like you said, he knew how to press the man's button to make sure he get what he wants. It's not like his dad doesn't have to give the brother, but the brother is just, he doesn't care less, probably. And he doesn't probably want to push further. But Bodun just understands the man and knows, if I do this, he will give him. So it's not about from the father's side. I mean, the father is the father. He is who he is. He's a character. But if you know how to, in quote, take advantage of it, then you get what you want.
But I also think it has to do with the children's personality, because even from my own upbringing.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. That's what I mean. That's what I'm saying. It's really from how the kids are. Personality or character.
It's two ways.
Oh, yeah, it will eventually be two ways, because if I get to understand,
you both have to understand
how
each other.
You relate with me, then I relate with you.
But the reason why I know that my mom used to allow some things slide with me, because I can do something, my sister can do the same thing. But my mom understands, she understands my personality, so she knows that my reasoning behind doing something, this thing, must have been very sensible for me to have done it. So she will not really vex for me like that, because she knows she cannot just go and do this thing, she's not just gonna do this thing like that, because she knows the way I reason. But if my sister does it, she'll vex for that one, because it's like, this one just wanted to misbehave. Or she was not even thinking about what she was doing when she did it. I was gonna ask Deji, with your daughter, I know that she's from a different mom, so I just wanted to find out, like, how did you come up with the decision that she should be with you?
Well, it wasn't a decision per se. It was more of, okay, look, before we moved to Canada, she wasn't living with me. So she was with her mom. She's always been with her mom. And we really didn't have this agreement over custody or who knows. I mean, like, she was with her mom. Anytime I wanted to see her, I see her. Anytime I wanted to spend time with her or have her come over, I mean, like, we always, it was just a mutual agreement. And whenever anything needs to happen, we just talk about it. I mean, we had our ups and downs, arguments and everything, but I mean, eventually we got to the point where, everything was just smooth. So before we moved, I mean, and one of the reasons why we were moving we knew it was just, I'm not going to go into details, but we just knew it was best decision at the time to move to Canada from Nigeria with family, and I thought, okay, I have this opportunity to also come with my daughter so that she could also experience this change that we were looking forward to. And, I spoke to her mom about it. To be honest, I actually didn't expect that she would agree to it. So I spoke to her about it. I mean, we had a couple of discussions here and there. I think she also saw the opportunity and the advantage. And she was like, okay, that's fine. And we started the whole process. In fact, the only ADR we got was the consent form from her mom. So at that point, when I got to that point as well, I was like, oh my God, I have to reach out to this woman again. And then I called her. I'll never forget, in GRA then. So I called her. I said, look, this is what these guys require. She was like, oh, okay. When do you want me to show up? I was like, I can come pick you up right now. Change your mind. So I went, got her. We went to the court. She signed everything, and that was it. I can tell that there were times where she actually did think, wow, I'm going to miss this girl.
Yeah, but that's what parenting is about. You're putting the child first.
Yeah.
It's not your own selfish.
That was the only reason why she did that, because she knew it was a better opportunity for her than her staying back in Nigeria. And, she's, I mean, like they talk very often while they're here. I know how much she misses her. She tells me personally, she even wants to come. She was going to pay for a ticket to have Molly come over just to visit, but I mean, of course, for certain logistics, that all of that couldn't happen. But I can tell that she misses her a lot. Molly also misses her a lot. But the good thing is, thank God for technology, they are very much in touch whenever they want to, video, voice, and all.
We thank God for good fathers like you. So I was going to ask, how has parenting changed for you, or being a father changed for you since you moved to Canada? Has it changed?
Well, in Nigeria, I had a nanny, I had a driver, but I still had time. In fact, I had time for 9 kids. I had my business, so I had my time. So I could take 9 children to watch a movie, just me. And I'm talking about children from age, at that time, from age 11 to age 3. You get it? So I am a child. You understand? So I can relate with most of the exes. So when my son does something and he goes to hide, I'll be looking at the guy that, who is going to chase you? I'm thanking God I did not do that as bad as I probably did. So for working in the house, I'm also an handyman. So while in Nigeria, even with all the stuff that I had, I did so many of the things I needed to do myself. My driver only drove me if I was driving to a place I did not know the road. And my wife didn't allow my driver. My driver was just like a PA. But I would say, go here, go here. You get what I'm saying? But I did my things myself. My wife would wake up and cook on Saturday. The nanny would do her own when my wife is at work. You get what I'm saying? So coming to Canada, we allowed our nanny to leave for 1 month. That was the plan.
You can.
Yeah, so, and that 1 month was not for us because I've been around. Yes, so I know what to do and when to do what. But I needed the children
to understand the change, like.
Yes, and we told them we are going to Canada, blah blah blah. Their cousins had come 3 weeks before them, so we are going to load dishwasher yourself. So all of the things that we do here, they did that in Nigeria for 1 month. On the calendar, who loads the dishwasher? Who loads the washing machine? You get who carries the trash outside? Because most of the things that we do here, where I stayed in Nigeria, this is kind of similar to put your trash on Tuesdays or some Saturday. So we did all of that. So when I got here, it wasn't so bad. The only problem is that I don't have time for myself. Yes. I don't have time for myself. So my wife had to sacrifice so many times to stay at home for me to go out. Because in Nigeria, all I needed to do was to get a text message that, guy, jam me for Buka. And I say, what's up? I'm going to Buka. I want to meet blah, blah, blah. I take my keys and go. So if Deji calls me now that jam me for Mississauga, you understand? If he says it now, you on his message, you write tomorrow or next tomorrow. I need time you need time to actually restructure their and I'm going to play tennis. My tennis time is 6 to 8. But because of that, I did not want us to. That's why I asked you how long it take. So that 6 to 8 on Saturday was already booked. So when I told my wife that, okay, I'm doing interview with Chika, she now swap her own working time. She goes, when I go to play tennis, she should go and work. So she's gone to work now. So the difference in Canada and Nigeria is that you have to
really do time management.
Exactly, micro management of time. Every minute counts. Every minute counts. When before this COVID, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, I have to leave my office at 3 o'clock because the children have to swim, they have to skate, and they have to do command. So I didn't think about those things in Nigeria.
Mm.
There was a people in my house, so you jump inside when you want.
Mm.
Is that your problem? You understand what I'm saying? There was no skating, and then lesson teacher will come to the house. I will just pass through the ante room where they use and say, I'll go that afternoon. I'll say, what's up? How you there? I'll go out and come back. So we have too much time.
Mm.
So, but the difference is actually, but I'm not stressed because I did it. And the children adapted easily because we did a rehearsal, one full. So basically, that's my own story.
Okay. All right. For me, I mean, it was pretty much the same in Nigeria for me before I came here. Like, I had a driver, you know, my wife had one from work, and we had, I mean, we had maids. I mean, at the later part, we didn't have a maid, you know, because we thought we didn't really need a maid just before, a couple of months before we moved here. Because at that time it was just me and her and then my son, and just like Bodun as well, I was doing my own thing, so I was always at home, to be honest. My office was in the house. Okay, well, earlier my office was a couple of blocks away in the same Maryland, but I closed that down, you know, and then I started working from home. You know, staff were kind of remote, so I had every time, like Bodun said, like all I needed was a text message. And when they even send it, they don't need to be considerate about timing. They'll say, oh, on my way to so place, let's meet up. And it was that easy to just show up and, you know, but moving here, I mean, luckily for me as well, I've always been a handy and a DIY guy. So I handle, like, even when I'm putting
all the tools.
Even when I'm, you know, getting like, for some weird reason, I like moving. You know, moving to a new place, fixing it.
It's exciting.
Especially putting it all together. You know, I usually do it myself. Yeah, in Nigeria, I will hire people to do that, but I'm always with them. Kind of like working and saying, look, okay, let's do it this way, let's do it this way. So I've always been that handy guy. So coming here and doing everything myself, like now, once I'm done here, I'm going to do some plumbing in the bathroom. I've gotten the tools and the stuff that I need to get that sorted. So I enjoy doing those kind of things, you know, but I was very fortunate, you know, that I had my daughter here with me. You know, that was one of the things that made life easy here.
She's older and she can look after
She's a lot older, and she's old enough to stay with her brother. Wow, you know, I can go out with my wife on a date, or I can go out and
enjoy your life.
Exactly. At work, and you know, but like Bodun said, timing here is a whole lot different. You know, because there's a whole bunch of things you have to consider before you make decisions to do certain things. Back there at home, you probably had someone doing everything for, especially when it comes to the kids, to pick them up from school, to take care of them while they're home. You didn't need to think about, okay, what's going to happen to the children, or everything was like sailing. But here it's all different because you're pretty much alone with the kids. And, you know, there's a whole lot of things you just want to consider. So how you manage your time matters a lot. So like Bodun said, if I was going to tell him, I'm already thinking of doing something over at mine, I've already given him like 2 weeks notice. You know, because I mean, I won't call him and say, look, guy, I feel like drinking tonight. Come over to my house. If it wasn't in Nigeria, it's easy to do that. But here, you can't.
Only the drive safe when you think of where you live.
Yeah, so you have to be very time conscious. That's the different thing here, you know. And like for me too, I've hardly had time for myself. You know, like there's always just one thing or the other that I need to get done. Like it's been so bad. I've been so bad with communication because of this. Like if I open up my WhatsApp messages for you, it's a mess. It's a big mess. And many times I don't know how to explain to people. This is the reason why, because I really don't even know how to explain to them. You know, it's just very different. It's very different, you know. And I also thank God for my daughter as well, being old enough to be able to do basic house chores.
Yeah.
I mean, she learned a lot of that from her mom since she moved, and I'm very grateful to my wife as well because she's groomed her, you know, to be a really good and independent woman as well. Like she pretty much does everything. Like she's got responsibility responsibilities now. We've got fishes in the house, about 4 of them that she takes care of them. She feeds them, gives them. Yeah. So she takes care of them. She makes food for me sometimes. She asks me if I want to eat. Like sometimes I feel like, is this babe my wife?
Your small wife.
Yeah, so she's been really great. She's been really great. She adapted really well. She's been a good support even for her mom over here. That's my wife. So it's been this transition was easy, to be honest. For my son, he doesn't even know where he is. He just knows we're here, mommy, daddy is here, mom is here, and we have a place we live in. He doesn't even know what the difference is.
He has not reached yet to understand that,
I'm sure he doesn't even know what Nigeria is. I mean, he knows grandma, grandpa.
But thank you guys for joining me today. I really just wanted to celebrate fathers and like all the stuff, like the good fathers, the ones that are doing their job, because I know a thing or two about fathers that are not doing their job. I know very, very well. So it makes me want to appreciate the ones that are doing the job more, because I know of the ones that are not doing it. So that's why I just wanted to, like, it's not all the time complain of deadbeat dads. Sometimes celebrate what's alive, what's the opposite of deadbeat? Alive what? What's the opposite of beats? What's the opposite of beats? Like
unbeat. Bodun says something.
I don't knock.
Alive, healed,
functional,
or put together.
Alive and functional.
Alive and functional dad. I have to think of that. I have to think of the opposite of deadbeat. Just thank you for being good dads. Continue to do the work. Continue to excel and be better at parenting. Yeah, and always be present like you're already doing. And God bless you and strengthen you. Let's not talk about maybe another time we'll talk about being husbands. That's one I'll have plenty mouth. But for now, I've just left father to you because I don't know anything about husband.
We will see about that.
That was very controversial.